Creating a truly simple, peaceful and minimalist life can feel hard at first. I mean, what's the right way to begin? Should you start by decluttering most of your stuff? Should you build the perfect self-care routine? Or maybe just pack up everything and move to a cabin in a Nordic forest? The truth is that simplifying your life doesn't have to start with extreme steps. In this video, I will walk you through 7 things you probably should do first. These are small but impactful actions that can help you find clarity, build momentum, and create a sense of calm, all before diving into the big changes. Number 1, acknowledge the overwhelm. Life can feel overwhelming. There is no denying it. And the first step to simplifying your life is to accept that this feeling is normal. You don't need to pretend everything is fine or push yourself to just handle it. Overwhelm is often a sign that something in your life needs to change. So instead of letting it weigh you down, try to see it as a signal, a reminder that it's time to shift your focus and take action. The truth is, simplifying your life doesn't mean fixing everything at once. I think trying to tackle everything in one go will only add to the chaos. It's okay and even necessary to start small. I'll give more specific ideas on how to do this in the next points, but remember that these tiny steps build momentum, and over time, they create real change. If you feel you are at the very beginning of this process, it's important to give yourself grace. Don't compare your starting point to someone else's life after years of effort. You're probably not seeing all their struggles, their setbacks, or the time it took for them to get where they are now. The only thing that matters is where you are today and the steps you take from here, because every journey looks different. And remember, you don't have to have all the answers right now. Give yourself permission to figure it out as you go. If you don't take this moment to acknowledge where you are, you'll always be just chasing something better. Number 2, start a small challenge. I think one of the best ways to ease into simplifying your life is to start with a small challenge. I have done so many of these in my life to start new habits when it comes to simplifying life or fitness or eating something or so many different things. I believe these are so powerful because a challenge creates focus and structure, helping you to kickstart the process, to stay motivated and track your progress along the way. It's much easier to forget what you are doing and what's the goal if you don't have any structure when it comes to that thing that you want to actually do. And the challenge that I'm talking about here is not about doing something drastic or overwhelming. It's about choosing something simple and realistic that fits into your life right now. Here are a few challenge ideas when it comes to simplifying life, and I suggest, of course, picking the one that you think will help you the most. Start a no-buy week. Commit to not buying anything unnecessary for 7 days. Just the essentials. This helps you spend less impulsively and think more about what you really need. Simplify your wardrobe for a week. Choose just 5 to 10 clothing items to wear, depending of course on how many you own and how many you usually use. This can make getting dressed easier and show you how freeing fewer choices can be. Declutter 7 things daily for 7 days. So let go of 7 items each day, whether it's clothes, books, or digital files. Small consistent steps like this can lead to big results over time. Digital detox week. Limit your screen time, set phone-free zones and hours, or even take a break from screens altogether. 7-day gratitude challenge. Write down 5 things you are grateful for every day to create a more positive and peaceful mindset. You can do these challenges alone or invite a friend, roommate, or family member to join you if you want a little bit of added motivation. And I have to say that so many times after I finished these type of challenges, I find myself wanting to keep the habit going and keep the challenge going, because once you see the impact that action has, it often feels just natural to continue. So the challenge actually turns into a lasting change. 3. Spend a few minutes daily in silence. I think these days we are so afraid of silence. The idea of sitting alone without doing anything can feel uncomfortable and sometimes even unbearable for some people. There's actually this one study that I heard about. It was led by psychologist Timothy Wilson in 2014, and it revealed just how uncomfortable people are these days with silence. The research found that many participants preferred to give themselves electric shocks rather than sit quietly with their own thoughts for just 6 to 15 minutes. I think this result just highlights how much we have grown to avoid being alone with our own thoughts, even when the alternative is unpleasant or even painful. So I guess one question here is, why are we like this? I think it could be because silence forces us to face things that we would rather ignore, like unresolved emotions, worries, or even boredom. It could also be the constant overstimulation of modern life, where every moment is filled with screens, noise, or endless to-do list, or basically something like some stimulation to your mind or brain. But whatever the reasons are, the truth is that if you cannot sit with yourself in silence, letting go of things and simplifying your life might not help you that much, because decluttering or clearing your schedule will just create more empty space. And if you are not comfortable with that, you might unconsciously sabotage this whole process. So you think you want to simplify, but not actually, not really. That's why learning to embrace silence and stillness is so important. You can start this by sitting quietly for just 5 minutes a day without music, screens, or any distractions. It's a simple way to escape the constant noise of life and reconnect with yourself. If you find that sitting in silence feels very challenging for you, you can ease into it again by pairing with something calming like drinking tea, watching the sky, or what I do many times is just looking outside the window and see what is kind of happening there. What are some sounds maybe that I can hear? Are there some people? Are there some birds? Is there wind? What's the weather? I mean, that really helps this process, so that you don't feel that it's this very bad or negative thing to do, that, oh, I hate to do that again, but you can make it somehow more pleasant for yourself. 4. Begin with a visible victory. If you want to simplify your home, a great idea is to start with something small and visible. This is about choosing one manageable area in your life that you can tidy up or organize in a way that feels immediately rewarding. For example, you could clear off your kitchen counter, organize your bedside table, or tidy the entryway of your home. These areas are often the first or last thing you notice in your day, and seeing them transformed can instantly shift your mood. For me, this place is the living room table. It's really the central point of the room, even of the whole house, and something I walk past or sit near constantly. When it's tidy, I feel like everything is somehow much better. But when it's cluttered with papers, mugs, or some random things, it seems to just amplify any stress that I am feeling. This concept can be also applied beyond your home. If you want to simplify your life, you can ask yourself, what is one visible thing in my routine that feels chaotic? Maybe it's your schedule, and organizing your meetings for the week can create clarity. Or it might be your finances. Organizing your budget in one small, tangible way could give you a sense of control. So this visible victory isn't just about the physical space. It's about creating momentum. When you see results of your effort right away, I think it just reinforces that simplify is something that you should keep doing. It's something really good, and the rewards are excellent. Number 5, focus on how you begin and end your day. I really believe that how you spend your first and last hour of your day can shape everything in between. So take a moment to reflect. How do you spend these hours right now? Are you already creating space for calm, or could there be room for improvement? Many of us rush through these moments, leaving little time to prepare our minds and bodies for what's ahead. So you can even start with one small habit and build from there. For me, it began with a short 5-minute walk in the morning. Over time, I then added other calming activities in there, like journaling, meditation, reading, and then studying. Now my morning routine lasts almost an hour and feels the most calming part of my day, but it grew naturally into that. It wasn't like that from day one. And then at night, you can use the time for self-care, lay out your clothes, prep your workspace, or write down a simple to-do list. Just remember that consistency is key. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to keep showing up for yourself as often as you can. If you miss a day, don't really worry about it. Life happens, and what matters is getting back to your routine the next day. This is Matt Diavella's 2-day rule, so just avoid skipping 2 days in a row if that's possible. 6. Start a donation bag. This is one of the easiest ways to start simplifying your space. The idea is simple. Keep this donation bag somewhere somewhat visible, maybe in a closet or by the door, and whenever you notice something you no longer need, just add it to the bag. This small step requires no extra time or planning, making it perfect for anyone basically, no matter how busy or overwhelmed you feel. By having this specific spot for items you no longer want, I think you will naturally start paying more attention to what is taking up unnecessary space in your home instead of just passively accepting the clutter. And watching the bag slowly fill up is surprisingly motivating. Each item you add is a visible reminder again that you're making progress, even if it's one small step at a time. Once the bag is full, just make sure to donate it within a specific time frame, so pretty quickly, to a local charity or maybe a donation center. This final step is to make sure that the clutter doesn't stay in your home. And I have to say that it feels good to know that the things that are for you, like unnecessary, maybe trash or waste, well, clutter, I would say, might be very beneficial to somebody else. It can be really treasure for someone. So this is a small intentional practice that has the potential to spark motivation or inspiration for decluttering much more in the future. 7. Let go of fixed destinations. I think one of the most freeing realizations in life is that most things don't have a real destination. Simplifying your life isn't about reaching a perfect end point. It's about learning to embrace the process itself. Think about going for a walk, for example. The purpose isn't to rush somewhere and then rush back home. It's to enjoy the movement, the fresh air, and the sights on the way. Or another one is watching a movie. If your only goal is to reach the credits, you will miss the story. You will miss the emotions and the moments that make it meaningful. A sunset is pretty much the same. You don't watch it just to see it end. You enjoy the colors and the quiet as it's happening. When you start seeing life and simplifying life like this, everything changes. Instead of fixating on where you think you should be, you begin to pay attention to what you are learning and experiencing along the way. If you are constantly focused on arriving somewhere, like having a perfectly minimalist home, the most organized life, or the ideal routine, you're likely to feel frustrated when things don't go as planned. So set intentions and systems instead of these rigid expectations, because intentions are flexible. They guide you without tying you to a single outcome. And just a quick reminder that my course Simple Life Blueprint is still 50% off for another 24 hours. If you want to go deeper and want more practical resources to simplify your life, don't forget to take advantage of this offer. The link is in the description so you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one.